evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1093rd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni, and that would be me. Good evening, traders. This video is being filmed on Thursday night for trading Friday, October 18, 2013. We know that futures trading is extremely risky. If you don't know that, you should. Futures trading is not suitable for all trading accounts. Never trade the futures trading markets. Never trade commodity markets. Never trade stocks. Never trade anything without a protective stop. And place that stop first. All right, traders, what's on the board? I want to get right into it. A few things here. One, I'm going to throw something out at you, traders. One, well, let me say this. A, I think it's a fantastic company. B, I think it makes great cars. C, I don't follow fundamentals. I could care less about fundamentals. I read charts. That brings me to number one on the board. Is Tesla, T-S-L-A, is Tesla having trouble? Is there something showing up on the chart that may be being released, a fundamental that's going to come out about Tesla to possibly knock it down that's showing up on the chart? Now, I'd be the last person to stand in front of you and say a car company as great as Tesla is possibly going to start to go down now in its stock price. But I'm the same guy that stood in front of you a year ago and told you Apple was topped, and it topped. Now, I'm not saying Tesla has topped. I'm going to show you why I have a question about Tesla. Is it having some difficulty that's going to come out in the news? We'll look at that chart. Traders, new highs in NASDAQ and S&P were called for at the beginning of this week. OMNI told us that we'd go to new highs this week. The charts told us absolutely new highs this week. I posted on Facebook early yesterday morning, we will make new highs on Thursday. And we did. New highs were put in this Thursday. Now, during this week, I also showed you a couple of charts. I showed you a crude oil chart. I showed you a bond chart and a gold chart. And I showed you a big head and shoulders in crude. That so far is still working. Gold and bonds have gone up. Looks like there's some kind of a fundamental coming out in the charts there too. We'll find out. But traders, my point is this. I talked about the emini S&P. I showed charts about the emini S&P, and I only offered recommendations this week in NASDAQ and the emini S&P as far as the OMNI were concerned. So, what is happening in gold and bonds is really no concern of ours unless we're going to trade them, which we're not. This is our concern. NASDAQ ES. OMNI calls for new highs. The charts called for new highs. We put new highs in. I'm going to show you some charts that give us a green OMNI for trading on Friday once again, and should make NASDAQ and ES go even higher. Traders, I want to get you right into the chart segment. If you like the charts I'm about to show you, if you like these videos, subscribe right here at YouTube. Just click the subscribe button and you will receive an email each time I put out one of these nightly videos. The other thing you can do to get really close to me is come on down to livewithoscar.com. Come into my free chat room where I can help you understand the charts and the analysis I'm about to put forth. Traders, with no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the first chart I'm going to show you should be familiar at this point. I have been showing this to you in every video for the last 4 or 5 videos, and I proclaimed on Wednesday that Thursday we're making new highs and we'd fill in that little circle. New highs coming today. This was my OMNI posted on Facebook, and it was on my OMNI recommendation page, this very same chart, early on Wednesday night for Thursday morning. So here you go, or I should say early Thursday morning for trading on Thursday. So traders, here's that chart. And we wanted to see that circle fill in because the analysis told us we'd get right to that circle in the emini S&P. And here is what happened. My goodness, look at that. A round of applause for technical analysis, traders. Here is what happened. It went right to that circle. What more could you ask for? I say more new highs coming in on Friday. Take a look at your emini S&P daily bar. Then there's the weekly emini S&P, traders. I have shown this to you many times, this very same chart, just like the one before it, the daily emini. I've been showing you this weekly emini for the last couple of weeks and told you that we should get up to here at some point. So this is the chart that I showed you starting the beginning of this week. Here is the update. It's almost there. Traders, another round of applause. Go technical analysis. Now, this is a weekly chart. Look at how many weeks you've stayed above this trend line, and it is now racing towards that top trend line. So very good look there in your weekly and daily S&P. Traders, the NASDAQ, this is tonight's masterpiece chart. I love this chart. Let me explain it to you. Here's your NASDAQ on a daily. It goes, on a weekly. It goes back way back, all the way back here, several years, right? 2009, right here. So we come all the way up to where we are now in 2013, but here's what's interesting. Look at this purple parallel channel. It appears that once we get into one of these red channels, once we bounce off the purple, it goes all the way to the top, comes down, gets into one of these channels, goes all the way to the top, comes down, gets into one of these channels, goes all the way to the top, comes down, gets into one of these channels here, starts going, it should make its way all the way to the top, like this did, and like that did. Very characteristic on the weekly chart of the NASDAQ. More evidence we should go higher. Let me blow this chart up for you now and look at it. Traders, I have zoomed in on this chart, and this is what it's showing me. That's the very same chart. This was the last channel. We went to the high. Now here we are heading towards the high. 3390, 3400 NASDAQ. That's where that comes in. That is a wonderful, wonderful projection, and that is what we should get if we just go up and touch that purple line. So a lot of bullish looking charts here for your NASDAQ S&P. Now we're going to look at what's going on daily for trading on Friday. You see the way we were in those channels, and I showed you from the bottom of the channel to the top on the NASDAQ weekly? Well, this is the Dow Jones Transportation Average daily bar chart. And if you'll note, it does the same thing from the bottom. It goes to the top. So from the red line to the blue line inside of a channel. From the red line to the blue line inside of a channel. From the red line, the blue lines here, you're inside of a channel. At least one more day coming our way, and that's all we're looking for as day traders. Then there is this, traders, another chart that I think you'll like. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at the size of this wonderful parallel channel. And once again, as you can see, from the bottom to the top, down to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom, up to the top. We were just at the bottom. We're only halfway there. There is plenty of room in our indice markets to move much, much higher. Now, here we go. The car company of the world is supposed to be the best new car company in the world, right? I'm looking at this chart and I'm wondering, why is it building a head and shoulders over here? This looks like a left shoulder. This certainly looks like the head of a head and shoulders formed already. And this looks like a right shoulder possibly forming. So I said, let me take a closer look at this chart, because that's a big formation to try to call. Let me see if there's anything going on. And traders, here's why I think there possibly is some fundamental news in Tesla that may be coming out. You see, we still got that head and shoulders, right? But if you look a little closer, bear flag from the highest print that Tesla has ever had into a second bear flag that we're in now. And I think we're going to crack. I think Tesla has a problem. This could be a W formation, but it's not. It is two bear flags in a row at the head of a head and shoulders, and possibly this flag is in the right shoulder. This needs to be watched. I am not telling you that Tesla is going down the tubes. I am telling you that my OMNI radar is up. And one more thing I'd like to say. Traders, you just seen a really, really powerful week in the NASDAQ, in the S&P, in the stock market, right? We made all-time new highs today in the NASDAQ and S&P. And you know what Tesla did? It went down Friday. On Tuesday. It went down Wednesday. It went down yesterday on the big up day in the stock market. Tesla heading down. This is a darling of Wall Street, right? Suddenly heading down on the days where we're making new highs in NASDAQ and S&P. I say keep your eyes peeled on Tesla. So traders, that's about it. There is my argument for Tesla. Now, I am not telling you that this is a full-blown sell signal. I'm not telling you to go out and sell Tesla. What I am saying is my OMNI radar and my antennae are up right now, and the odds are good that I'll be watching Tesla very closely. It could easily blast off and continue. It's supposed to be a great car company. This is not about fundamentals at all. I am reading you the chart. So, Again, I'm not saying run out and sell it, but keep your eyes on Tesla. I expect more new highs in the emini, S&P, and NASDAQ. And bravo for technical analysis traders. There is nothing better than technical analysis out there. It has kept us on the right side of this entire down move and the wave back up. Not only did it keep us on the right side, it told us the low of the move, and it called today's high on the rebound back up. Once again, go OMNI, go technical analysis. Traders, that's about it. I'll see you at livewithoscar.com. Always remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. There's video number 1093. And watch out for Tesla. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.